Hey y'all, guess what? I'm back. What's up, friends? It's your girl Constance Ray, and welcome to Consciously Constance. Today is December 1st, 2020. I ain't seen y'all in a minute. I know y'all ain't seen me in a minute, right? I missed you. Hey, how's the year been for you? Seriously, I'm not about to open up on no negative victim, you're sucked kind of energy because honestly, the year ain't been too shabby for me. How's it been for you? How are you? I pray that you're well, and I pray that you're happy to see me. If you are a subscriber, thank you for hanging in there. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe because why not? Right? Why not? So, let me tell you what's going on, where I'm at, what's happening. It is the end of the year. Hold on, let me get my frame. Let me get in frame a little bit. I don't want any distractions. I like that a little bit better. Okay, so it's the end of the year, almost. And, now's the time of year where we get really reflective and we're really thinking about what happened this year. What did I like? What did I not like? What do I want to carry into the next year with me? What am I going to leave like right here? Okay. And I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and I hope that you have been doing the same. I do just want to say how grateful I am. And not because we just, celebrated Thanksgiving here in the States. I'm grateful every day for the life that I have. For the life that I have. I'm grateful to be here, like living, breathing. I have plenty to be thankful for, and I am totally and completely. And I hope that you take a moment every day to just give thanks and show gratitude because you made it. You made it to today. That means you still got purpose to carry out. And I bid you strength and joy and endurance. You can do it. Okay? So today is acting for life. I have an acting lesson that kind of just ties in with life. One thing that I love about being an actor, oh, and by the way, I love being an actor. Let me tell you. There's just something about this lively art that just juices me up and keeps me going, and I can't live a day without it. I've tried to live many days without it, and they're so dry. Like, days without acting for me are like so dry. So I've made it a personal point to keep myself juiced up. Acting just has to be here. It's just got to be around, okay? So one thing that I want to do with this platform that I've been blessed to be a part of, which is YouTube. Shouts out to all the YouTubers out there. Because it's not easy to jump up here and let the world see you. But if you're going to jump up here and let the world see you, you better be passionate about whatever it is you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an actor. I love acting. And there isn't a thing I love to do more than acting. I love people more than acting. But thank God that I get to love the people I love and acting too. You know what I mean? So one of the major lessons that I've learned in all of my years acting. I am 31 now, and I majored in acting in college. So, that's around about 18? You go to college about 18? Got my degree in 2013, and I've been acting ever since, with breaks. I took breaks, whatever. But one lesson is universal, and it's always there, and it never goes away. And it's so fundamental to bringing your work to life, to bringing a script to life. It's action, okay? Actions are driven by motivation, okay? I know y'all might have heard like the cliche actor, like, what's my motivation? Really, the question is, what do you want? And from Acting 101, the question is, what do you want? And this is the first of a series that I'll be doing up here, and it's called Acting for Life, because in all honesty, this translates to off of the stage, away from the camera. Everything that we do is motivated by what we want. So actors are merely imitating real life people, right? So in reality, what we do is motivated by what we want. And how we go about getting it has everything to do with what we want and the circumstances we're in, what we've got to work with, what we've got to lose. See how there are layers on top that kind of color in this life experience that we live every day. So if you're an actor, or if you're aspiring to be an actor, if you're learning how to be an actor, if you're in that dip in your budget where you can't afford acting lessons right now, which I feel you, because they can be expensive, especially if the work coming in is a little slower. Shout out to everybody revving up for pilot season. I want you to know that in acting, you have to get very, very clear on what your character wants. This can be translated into an objective. Your objective is basically, what do you want? What do you want out of the overall piece? We'll break it down to the scene. What do you want in this slice of time, in this piece of work? Take it down even smaller to like your monologue. What do you want? What do you want? There's this game, it's an improv game that I love to play. I think it's called Bus Stop. It's either Bus Stop or basically you're like sitting on a bench and two players are coming in and out one at a time, right? And so you start out with the stasis, and that is someone is sitting on a park bench. Okay, and so then someone enters the scene and they sit beside the person on the park bench. And the person who enters the scene, they're given the objective. What you want is to get the person up and out. Get them up and off the bench. You're not allowed to touch the person. You can only use your words and your actions. But what you want, your motivation, is to get the person off of the bench. And let me tell you, the game can get quite hilarious because people can get very creative, okay, when it comes to getting what they want. And what you want can change. Gosh, this is legit art imitating life right here, because in life, what you want can change. In life, we might start out wanting one thing, and that's the only thing that we want. But in the journey to get into it, we start wanting other things. Not saying that we totally lose the desire of what we initially started out wanting, but sometimes things might come across our path that are like, ooh, I want that too. That's looking kind of good too. Like, I want this and that. But I want that for real. And so life kind of becomes this obstacle course of choosing, because we choose every day, many times a day, actually. But choosing what you want. What's your target? What are you going for? I know for myself, I've wanted to be an actor for so long, for so many years, y'all. But my behavior has not always reflected that desire. There have been times in my life where I have been more attracted to other things than my acting career. There have been times in life where making money, period, has been more important than my acting career. There's been times in life where rearing my children, I have twin girls, where rearing them, giving them a schedule, giving them a routine, giving them a home. There have been other things that have been more important than my acting career. Love, oh gosh. Wanting a man. I have probably been distracted by trying to have a boo thing, probably more than anything else. Let me tell you something. And I know I'm not the only one, y'all. You ever heard of like the phrase looking for love in all the wrong places? I feel like all the wrong places have come at me. Like, I wasn't even always looking all the time, but all the wrong places just be like, hey. And I'd be like, wow, that looks amazing. Maybe I want it. And then I'd be like, nah, I ain't want that. I ain't want that. This is what I want. And then this other man will be like, hey. And I'll be like, hey. You know what? I do want this. I said I didn't want that, but I do. Like, I am trying to be a wifey one day. Maybe with you. Don't get me started, y'all. Sometimes just being numb to the whole daggone thing. Like, I've dealt with loss on so many levels. I've wrestled with anxiety. I've wrestled with depression. And I used to think that it was just a matter of your will. Like, you only depressed if you want to be depressed. Think about something else. But I've literally been through times in my life where I've just been stuck. And being stuck and not moving at all in certain times of my life was what I wanted more than pursuing my acting career. So my behavior reflected what I wanted then. Still wanted to be an actor, but just not as bad as I wanted to be still. Not as bad as I wanted to be high, drunk. Not as bad as I wanted to be a boss. Not as bad as I wanted to be a mover and a shaker. Not as bad as I wanted to be relevant. And you know, there's so many things can come up and your objective can shift. So when you're acting and you're looking at a script, you read the whole body of work if you can. Sometimes we're just given the size and that's all you got to work with. But it's good because we train ourselves to be able to fill in what we don't have, right? So when you're looking at your script, you're reading the words and people are saying what they say. One thing to always keep in mind is human nature. We very rarely say exactly what we mean. Do you know what I mean? If I am afraid to have a conversation about my heartbreak, I'm going to put a wall up around that heartbreak, and I'm going to avoid that discussion by speaking about other things. I'm not going to speak directly to what I'm afraid to talk about. I will talk to you, but I might talk to you about the evil intentions of men and how many of them are scum, rather than saying, I'm just so afraid to open up my heart again because I've been hurt so many times. Does that make sense? So it's always important to decide. As the actor, you have the choice. Just as a human in your life, you have a choice. You decide what it is that you want, and you plan how you're going to get it through your delivery of the lines. As an actor, we don't choose what we say, but we do choose how we say it. We choose what saying it means to us, and we choose how and when we show what's underneath what we're really saying. And the number one tool to getting down to that is being very, very clear on what your character wants. What does your character want at the top of the scene? Depending on what you get back from the other character in the scene with you, is going to determine whether or not you feel like you're getting it. So you might have started out with one tactic, but it needs to change. And then in the end, did you get it? How do you know you got it? Or are you still trying to get it all the way to the end? It's very, very important to know what your aim is, so that once you've learned your lines, that's your mode. You're going to get it. You're not really lollygagging or really trying to say it good. See, sometimes we think actors are just, performing, trying to say things a certain way to make it sound good. But the real work in acting is, how are you going to get what it is that you want? You only got these lines. That's all you got to work with. So, you want this person to be in love with you? When's the last time you asked somebody to be in love with you and they said, okay? You know it don't work like that. You want someone to apologize to you. But if you go up to somebody and say, you owe me an apology, say you're sorry right now, and they say, okay, I'm sorry, does that mean anything? You demanded it and you got it. How exciting is that? You know what I mean? So it's very, 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 very important whenever you have a script, a monologue, a scene, a side, know what you want. When you wake up in the morning, take some quiet time before you check your phone. And I have to train myself to do this too, because it can be a habit, just checking your phone. Especially if your phone is an alarm, because the notifications are like they're waiting for you. But try your best to move the habit to the side and just check in with yourself first thing in the morning and decide what it is you want. What do you want today? I'm going to take it a little bit further to something that I have to do in the morning that I realize I haven't been doing for years. I wake up in the morning and I pray and I say, God, what do you want today? What do you want me to do today? What do you want me to gain today? What do you want me to give away or drop off? You know? Sometimes we chase our desires and we find ourselves running in circles. Until you get to the place where you're like, okay, I'm confused, I'm tired, like, I'm really over this. And so then you have to look to your creator, to your maker, and say, all right, God, what do you want for me? What do you want me to be doing right now? Because I'm kind of making a mess out of my choices. And I get into the word and I read and I pray just to make sure that I'm going after what I need to be going after. Because I didn't design myself after all. You know. So, this is lesson 1 of Acting for Life. Know what you want. In your script, in your monologue, in your side. Know what you want. And in life, you should probably know what you want to. And make sure that your actions are matching up to going after that. And when in doubt, ask God the Father. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Can I tell you again how glad I am to be here and how good it is to see you? Honey, you're looking good. You're looking like good. Okay. 2020 has been good to you. And even if you saw some bad times, God will still use those experiences and those lessons, and He'll still work them out for your good. Believe it. I do. Okay, so like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. There will be more Acting for Life lessons. In the meantime, keep rehearsing. It's your girl, Consciously Constance. 2020. Come on.